Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you some dump and go crock pot recipes. Today's video is also a collab with my friend Sheena over at Mommy Life. I will have a link to her channel down in the description box. But now let's just get into the recipes I want to share with you. The first recipe I'm going to share with you is potato soup. You'll need a 32-ounce bag of Southern hash browns, about 3 ounces of the real bacon bits, 8 ounces cream cheese, a can of cream of chicken soup, and a box of chicken broth. Now we are just going to add everything to our crock pot. When you add the cream of chicken soup and the broth, just give it a good stir just to get all that mixed up before you add the other ingredients. Also, I forgot to mention that you will need a cup of shredded cheese, so add that to your grocery list. So now we're just going to add the cheese and give that a good mix so the cheese is distributed. And I usually add the bacon bits here too. I'm not sure why I didn't video adding those in, but put the bacon bits in now. And then just go ahead and dice up your cream cheese and add that and give it a good stir. After I have all of the ingredients added, I just like to stir everything and make sure all of the cheese and all is kind of pushed down into the liquid before I put the lid on and all that so that it cooks. Then just put your lid on and you can cook it on low for 8 hours, or today I did it on high for 4. I also like to serve these yeast rolls. Just spray your pan and sit them in there and spray the tops of the rolls with cooking spray and put plastic wrap on them and just let them rise, and it's really good to serve with your potato soup. And here you can see it cooked. I'm just mixing it, just stirring it to make sure the cream cheese all gets distributed, but it's a really good soup. It's one of our favorites. We usually never have any leftovers of this. It is my girl's favorite, and with the yeast rolls, it's just a perfect dinner. Tonight we are going to have 3 cheese tortellini soup, so you'll need tortellinis, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 2 cans of Italian-style diced tomatoes, chicken broth, and spinach. First, we're going to add the diced tomatoes. Don't forget, it's the Italian diced tomatoes to the crock pot along with the chicken broth. And after you add the broth, just add in your spinach. And once the spinach is added, I usually add up my diced cream cheese. And again, I just like to dice up the cream cheese because it makes it a little bit easier to melt and all that while it's in the crock pot. And after I have the cream cheese added, then I just like to go ahead and give everything a good stir and just mix this all up very well before I add the tortellinis to it. And this recipe also is really good to do in the crock pot, or I do it on the stove top also, because the tortellinis, usually it's only 3 to maybe 8 minutes for them to cook. So even if you forget to put it in the crock pot in the morning to cook it, you can do it on stovetop, and within around 30 minutes it's finished. So just FYI if you want to try it on the stovetop. So once you have all of that mixed, just add your tortellinis, give it a good stir, and add the lid to your crock pot, and then you can just cook it on low for 8 hours. But like I said, you can do it on the stovetop and it'll be ready in about 30 minutes. So here's what it looks like, just giving it a stir. And I usually serve it with the $1 loaf of French bread at Walmart, and it's a really good soup, so you guys should try it. Our next recipe is going to be Mexican street corn chicken chowder. This is a recipe I found on Facebook. It's from 5 Dinners 1 Hour. It's one of their free recipes, so if you go to their Facebook page, you should find the recipe there. So to the crock pot, I'm going to add 4 chicken breasts, then the 2 cans of cream style corn, the can of Mexi corn, then I'll be adding a small can of green chilies and a cup of diced onions. Diced onions, I like to buy the frozen diced onions and just have them in the freezer because it's a whole lot easier, especially in the morning before going to work or something like that, just to be able to scoop it out and add it without having to actually dice them up. Then add in your spices and a tablespoon of lime juice, a tablespoon of minced garlic. I do the same thing with minced garlic. I just buy it already minced in the little jars at Walmart and keep it in the refrigerator. So there's 2 ingredients that I forgot to add at the beginning, and that is half and half and Monterey Jack cheese. So here I'm adding in a cup of chicken broth, and then I will be adding here the 2 cups of half and half. So very carefully. And then after I add the half and half, I will add in 3/4 cup of the Monterey Jack cheese. After I add in the cheese, I just like to give everything a good stir just to make sure that all the spices and all that are well combined for the soup before I turn it on. But this soup is really good. It just gives like a different taste than the soups that we normally have. So we usually have this when we're going through our soup rotations. But so after you have everything stirred and well combined, just add the lid, and then you will cook this on low for 8 hours. Before you serve this, you're going to take out the chicken breast and kind of chop or shred them up and then add them back into the soup. But here is a look at the soup. When it's done, it is delicious and you've got to try it. The next recipe is cube steak and gravy. You will need a family pack of cube steak, 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, an envelope of dry onion soup mix, and 3/4 cup of water. To your crock pot, you will add your cube steak and your 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. And I am so sorry that it is shaky here. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so I'm holding my phone with my other hand. So sorry about that. But then you will add in your envelope of dry onion soup mix. And after you add in the onion soup mix, you'll add in your 3/4 cup of water. Once I have that added, I kind of stir it a little bit and just make sure the cream of mushroom soup is covering all of the meat. So I always just kind of shift it around, mix it a little bit, and then you will just add your lid and cook this on low for 8 hours. Here is a look of the cube steak and gravy. With this recipe, I usually serve it with mashed potatoes and green beans and some sort of roll. My mashed potatoes, I peel and dice the potatoes. I cooked them in the Instapot for 7 minutes with 1 cup of water in it, and it worked out really well. Here is what we had for dinner this night. It's one of our family favorites. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications so that you're notified of my next video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.